All right, and we are live. Hi, everyone. This is my third time trying to stream this. It's my first time using OBS Studio and doing a live stream, so had a little bit of technical trouble, but I've worked it out now. Okay, so what we're doing today is I'm actually speccing a $3,000 budget PC for my friend. He has a budget of $3,000 for a gaming PC, and he specifically wants to play Starfield. So we're going to see what we can do for him here. There are a couple of requirements. One thing is he specifically wants the Hyte Y60, Hyte Y40 rather, black case, and I think he wants he wants it to be a bit aesthetically pleasing. So we're going to go with some power supply sleeved cables as well. So to kick off, let's go over to PC Part Picker. And we're going to pick out the things that I know he definitely wants in this system, and that is the case. So let's go and add our case here. And we're going to go for the Y40 and grab the black one. Here's the black one at $250. And we are going to want, now I'm pretty sure I know what video card we're going to want, and that's going to be a 7900 XTX, because those are the best performing at Starfield, and within a $3,000 budget we can definitely get a XTX. What I'm seeing here is these have definitely gone up in price. I got one of these for 1.4K a couple of months ago. Maybe we will see, this is where my own videos come in handy. If we go over to my latest GPU buying guide, this one here, we can see if I found a cheaper model somewhere. So let's go over, I've actually timestamped this recently as well, so it's going to be best under 1700. And there was a Sapphire Pulse for 1.5 at UMart. I guess that has probably sold out. 7900 XTX. Yeah. So the next cheapest here is 1.56. I guess it's not that much different. But yeah, maybe the Pulse 7900 XTX. If we have a look for Pulse, usually the Pulse is the most affordable one. Oh, it's all the way up at 1.7. That is surprising. Come on, PC Part Picker. Yeah, wow, that has really gone up. That is really surprising. Let's just jump over to UMart, which is where I actually saw it, and have a look. I guess it might be out of stock. 7900 XTX. Let's just sort by price, low to high. That is not a 7900 XTX. 1 point, let's see, XTX. Yep, it's gone out of stock, that's why. That's a gigabyte, MSI, Asus. You know what, it's not even listed here for some reason. What if we just go to where is their product section categories? It's going to be computer parts, graphics cards, and stock level. Let's just go all. And it's going to be the 7900 XTX right here. And can I not sort it? These websites are so hard to navigate sometimes. Like, where's the sorting option? Alright, where's the Pulse? It's not here. That is really strange. That is really strange. What do we got? Okay. The problem with this website is I've searched specifically for the 7900 XTX, and the first row is advertisements of completely different cards in completely different price range. The second row is you might be interested in, and again, it's completely different cards in completely different price ranges than what I'm looking for. And then the third row is actually my search results. Wow, thanks Umart. This is fantastic user experience. Yeah, well, for some reason they do not even have the Sapphire cards listed here at the moment. And the cards which they do have at 1.5k are sold out. So that's, I'm giving up on Umart. That is not even an option. Anyway, let's just go with what we have on PC Part Picker, because these things fluctuate in price anyway. So I'm just going to add the cheapest one there. You know, there's a Gigabyte and there's a Power Color, and they're a pretty similar price. If we have a look what they look like. Yeah. Now, usually the Gigabyte Gaming OC does have RGB, but I don't think this one does. So Gigabyte's not very consistent in their branding. This one has clear fans, which might indicate RGB, ray tracing, anti-lag. Yeah, let's have a look. Is RGB mentioned here anywhere? Nope. Why does it have clear fans if it doesn't have RGB? Let's just search this and have a look at the product page. This is the card. Okay, it does have lights, but are they RGB? No. They're just LEDs. Okay. Second LED color, purple. So it's just a fixed purple color, brand new LED color. Okay. It's not RGB. That's okay. There's another one for the same price, and that is, I think, yeah, this is the reference model. I'm just going to go for the Gigabyte one for now, and when we actually get around to purchasing the items, then we'll take a look if there's any other options. Okay, so that's our starting point. Now, another thing which I definitely know we want to do is go with a AMD 7000 series CPU. That's my opinion, because they're really good CPUs to start off with, and they're a brand new architecture, and they are going to have, and the socket of that CPU is going to have support for at least another 1, 2, 3 maybe generations of CPUs from Radeon, which means my friend will be able to upgrade his CPU for many years to come. So let's go and grab a AM5 CPU. We are going to go to, I've gone to CPU cools, haven't I? CPU. Let's go to, nope, where is it? Here, socket, AM5. Now, the good thing about this is you can pretty much just pick up the cheapest one. So I'm just going to do that for now, and then at the end of the build, we're going to see if we have enough budget left to upgrade it. But the thing is, you can always, because this socket's going to be used into future generations, my friend will be able to upgrade this to the 8000, 9000 series AMD Ryzens. So picking the lowest model 7000 series now and saving and putting more of your budget towards the graphics card makes sense for a gaming build. So let's just start there. And by the way, like I'm saying it's the lowest, it's the most affordable 7000 series CPU, but it's still a really good CPU. All right, now let's grab a CPU cooler. So I know that he wants RGB for the CPU cooler, and he wants it. He didn't say that he wants an AIO, but I think that is the best option for him because he liked the red build that I did recently, which had a RGB AIO. So let's grab an AIO. I'm just going to select. We probably don't want one. We don't want a single fan. And yeah, in the Y40, the 360mm is a bit of a tight fit, but let's just see what options we have anyway. Let's just sort by price. Is there an RGB filter on PC Part Picker? Fanless. Why would there be a fanless AIO? I guess there's fanless coolers. Bearing, CPU socket should be automatic because I've got compatibility filter on, but just in case I'm going to go AIM5. Color shouldn't matter. Rating, manufacturer. Okay, actually the manufacturer is kind of important because this is going to dictate what RGB ecosystem you get locked into. But we haven't picked any RGB products yet. This is going to be the first one. So let's see what options we have. Usually I go of Corsair to use IQ, but there's plenty of other options. But whatever manufacturer we pick here, we probably want to keep to the same one for the other RGB components as well. Alright, so let's just scan down the list. So some of these, what I'm going to do is stick with the brands that I know. So I've never heard of Vetru, so I'm not going to go with those. They could be good, I have no idea. I'm just saying I don't know them myself, so I'm not going to go with them. Deep Cool is a good brand. This is an ARGB, which means addressable RGB, which is what we want. It's not the nicest looking unit, I don't think. I think we can do better than that for the budget that we have. So let's keep looking. ID Cooling, Cooler Master. So this one here is a good unit, Cooler Master. And it is RGB, but it's not very good RGB. And it doesn't even have software control. I've got a review of that unit on my channel. And I actually own that myself in another system I've built. Let's keep looking. We've got more Cooler Master models. Some of these Cooler Master models do have software RGB control. MSI Mag Core Liquid 240. Personally, I don't really like the look of that one. That's just my taste. Let's keep going. We're not in a too expensive price range yet. Now we're starting to see the 3-fan coolers here. They can fit into the Hyte Y40, but it's just a tight fit. They do look nicer. It's just a little bit harder to work with. Thermal take. Okay. Thermal take. Trying to avoid thermal take. I have had a couple of bad experiences with their products in the past year. MSI, again, not a huge fan of that design. Let's keep going. Cooler Master. Yeah, these ones are okay. This one's quite nice. Deep Cool. Be Quiet. Doesn't have RGB. ID cooling. I don't know ID cooling. Thermal take again. I might actually just go narrow down what brands we're looking at. There's a lot to choose from, but let's just pick out the ones that I'm familiar with. So Be Quiet, Cooler Master, Corsair, Deep Cool, EK, yeah. Take a look what they've got. What else do we have here? I know some of these, but I'm not really interested in all of them. Noctua, I don't know, do they use their brown fans on their coolers? NZXT, definitely. Fantex is better for their cases. Thermal right, thermal take. Let's just start with that. Alright, so let's just jump down. We were kind of at around here. Some of these are going to be... Part of the thing about getting a CPU cooler is it really impacts the look of your system. So, you know, you can get a cooler just purely for performance, but it has a huge impact on the way your system looks because it covers the entire CPU and it covers the entire top of the interior of your case. Deep Cool. That one's kind of cool. Let's see. Okay, we've got some NZXT. NZXTs are really good. They look nice. That one's pretty cool. I wonder if it's worth going with a triple fan just for the look of it. I might select a triple fan just for the aesthetics. What do we got here? Deep Cool, Corsair. Yeah, these are getting so expensive. Alright, I kind of like that one's pretty cool. IQ, Capalex XT. I've got IQ in my system. And as far as RGB controls go, it's pretty good. The only problem with the IQ systems is the fan cabling is so difficult. Got NZXT, this one for 230. Let's have a look at that one. Okay. Alright, let's see what we get if we narrow it down to 3 fan setups. So they start at 140. I'm actually just going to remove Cooler Master. I'm going to remove Deep Cool. I don't like many of their products. So I think Corsair and NZXT are probably the main suppliers to look at when it comes to CPU coolers. EK has some as well. Yeah, the Be Quiet ones are more focused on quiet, being quiet, than the aesthetics. So, yeah, a lot of these have RGB just on the CPU block and not on the fans. Yeah, IQ. I think this is the one I've got on my system. IQ Elite Capalex. I think that's the one I got. NZXT. Yeah, that's quite nice. Let's take a look at that. Kraken. It's a white one. We're not doing a white build. Okay, this is getting too expensive now. Let's just go... I want to look at some IQ ones as well. So let's pick out that one and that one. What's the price difference? Pretty similar. Alright, let's see what we got here. This is a double fan, so how much is that one? 226. The triple fans I've chosen to look at start at 269, so I think we're not going to bother with that one. Alright, so we've got an NZXT, a Core, and two Corsairs. So the NZXT has a really nice display with the temperature on the CPU block, and this unit is starting at around $300. The Corsair IQs, so this one is $300 and this one is $270. This one, it does have an RGB block, which is quite nice if you don't mind the pattern on it. What kind of fans does this one have? CPU cooler. What model fans are they? Does it actually say? No. I think, yeah, this is the one I've got in my system, and it's quite nice. I think we're just going to go... I think I'd rather stick with Corsair so that we can use IQ. I'm not familiar with the NZXT RGB control center. I don't know how good that is, but I do hear that IQ is the best. So let's just let's go with this one. So we've got our cooler now. Okay. Yes, I'm aware that the cooler is just as expensive as the CPU. Go back to our builder. Alright, so we're already up at $2,500, and we haven't chosen a motherboard yet. So yeah, it's getting expensive. Let's go pick a motherboard and then some. Let's just see where we end up and then see what we need to cut down on. Alright, so we obviously need a AM5 motherboard. I've got the compatibility filter on, so it should be anyway, but just in case. Now, with motherboards, I do like to get the built-in Wi-Fi. Two reasons. One is so that you don't have to get a dongle that would take up a USB port in your system, and two is that I find the directly built-in Wi-Fi and Bluetooth is faster than the aftermarket options. Alright, so I want to avoid the A series. I want to get something quality. So we got an MSI B650 here, and we've got a Gigabyte B650M. They're both M models, so that means that they're mini, what is it, M-ATX? Mini ATX, is it? The smaller ATX form factor. That one color doesn't really suit. Asus. Excuse me. Take a look at this Asus. Tough Gaming. Part of this is I'm just looking what they actually look like. I'm going to avoid ASRock. Yeah, this Gigabyte board is okay. I've got that exact board in one of my other systems. Let's just start there. So what's the price difference? So I got 230, 250, and 265. Now I think this one is not, in terms of color, it's not what we're looking for. So I'm not going to go with that one. This one here and this one. Oh wow, that's a really small picture. Thanks PC Part Picker. Let's just go search images, and we want just to look at what it looks like. pretty similar looking units. The Asus model has a bit of color on it. So generally I try to avoid getting components which have painted or fixed colored components on them, because it locks you into that color scheme. So if we get this one, we're locked into using a yellow and black color theme for the PC. We can't change those colors. Whereas if you get a neutral color one like this, which it's just all black and white, you're not getting locked into any color scheme there. But let's take a look at what the actual specification differences are between these two. They're both B650, so they should be pretty similar. So max memory is, so the MSI actually supports more memory. Memory speeds up to 6400, so that's the same. We've got PCIe 1, this one has 2 PCIe slots. Whether you'd use them, that's another question. M2 slots, this one goes up to 2280 M key, 2280 M key, yep, it's the same. Onboard Ethernet, again, like not many people use Ethernet these days anyway. Any other differences? USB headers too. Does it tell you how many fan headers it has? So Wi-Fi 6E and Wi-Fi 6. Wi-Fi 6E is not so much different to Wi-Fi 6, so that's not a huge deal. I think we're going with the MSI, so let's add that. All right. So, all right. So we're at 2.6K. All right, memory. So with our memory, we're going to want, well, we actually need to get DDR5 for the AM5 platform. Let's get at least 32 gig. So we're going to want 2x16. And we're going to sort by price and see what's the best and cheapest we can get. One thing is we do want RGB. So, you know, this whole system has an RGB tax. So just keep that in mind. All right, so at the top we got 52. We probably see right here we got 6000 at CL38, which is pretty good. What is this? Okay, so that's a good unit, but it doesn't have RGB. And PC Part Picker does not have an RGB filter, does it? Color, voltage, timing. Nope, it doesn't. Manufacturer. You know, RGB is one of the biggest deciding factors of picking your parts, but PC Part Picker still doesn't have a filter for it. Alright, what else do we have here? The next 6000 speed we have is Corsair, which again doesn't have RGB. We do actually want to try and stick with Corsair so that we can use IQ. So actually, let's narrow it down just to Corsair and see what we got. So 52. So let's just filter for RGB. Hopefully the ones with RGB all have it in their name. So we got some 6000 RGB here, CAS latency 40. And we got more here with CAS latency 36, and the price is exactly the same. So that's a pretty easy choice, and that's actually pretty good. So I think I'm going to go with that one. So 159. Let's just see what else we can get in that price range. 165, 170 is getting a bit more expensive. We got 6000 here at CAS latency 36. So let's compare that one. Looks like we're going to be comparing these two. What is the difference here? Corsair Vengeance RGB 32, RGB 32, 2 times 16, DDR5 6000 CL36. Is this the exact same thing? What am I missing here? What am I missing here? The part number is different. I wonder if one of them has XMP profiles and the other one doesn't. I'm just going to compare these. Actually, let's just go Google that versus that. Look at the part numbers: 32GX 5M 2E 2 versus 2D. That's different. 6000 C36, and this one has a K at the end. So M2D and M2E. Wonder what the difference there is, and a K at the end. Has this guy asked the exact same thing? M2D and no, he's asking about different models. Wow, this is really confusing. See, Corsair's some feedback. Don't use the exact same name for things that have a different model number. Let's look these up separately. Some websites have a compare feature built in. So here's one of them. And the other one is this. Let's put some quote marks around that to make sure we definitely get the right one. That's interesting. So when I search that, there's no results for the actual Corsair website. The first one is PC case gear, so that is strange. Can I search Corsair website for this? Nothing! I've just punched in a Corsair model number and they have no results on the Corsair website for it and no results on Google. That is really weird. So that's the one with the K at the end, which is this one. So does the specifications here tell me any difference? We've got 228 modules, price, color, first world latency. CAS latency 36, that's the same, 1.4, 1.35 volts. Timing 36, 36, 36, 76. Okay, that's different. Heat spreader, yes. 36, 44. I thought that if the timing is lower across the other parts of that, it would be better. But it's just weird that Corsair doesn't even have it on their website. So the top result is PC case gear. I do not know what the difference is. Anyway, what's the price difference? 116 versus 159. I'm gonna just, for now, I'm just gonna go with the one which is actually on the Corsair website. And wonder if that's okay. So the difference is just the timing. Let's compare the timing versus this. Pretty sure PC case gear. Nope. I'm just gonna go with the one which is more commonly purchased, which is this one here. So let's just go add. Don't want to spend too much time on it. There's going to be probably a negligible difference between either of them anyway. All right, so how about storage? Choose storage. So I always like to buy Samsung. So let's go with Samsung, and we're going to want M2 and sort by price, and we're going to want capacity. I recommend a 500 gig for the operating system. So we've got a 970 Evo Plus, 500 gig for $49. This has got so cheap. For $10 more, we can get a 980, and then from there you're jumping all the way up to $90. So just for the operating system, let's just add the 980, and then for a secondary drive, which will mostly have games installed on it, we're going to want, let's say, 2 terabyte Samsung. M2 price. So 980 Pro with heatsink. Geez, they get expensive fast. 217. I'm actually going to recommend that we start at 1 terabyte, and he can always install another one later on if he needs to. But I think I've only got a 1 terabyte drive. What do I have? I've only got a 1 terabyte drive in mine. You can always buy more later on. How many M2 slots does our motherboard have? This one. M2 slots. It's got 2 M2 slots, so he can put, yeah, so we're actually limited to the 2, so maybe we do need to get a larger capacity. If we get, so how much is the 1 terabyte? What are we on here? 1 terabyte. We get the 980 Pro. Yeah, so it works out more cost effective to get the 2 terabyte. So if we go down here to 2 terabyte, 980 Pro, the one with the heatsink is cheaper for some reason. Let's just add that. If we need it, we need it. So we got a, we've got a 500 gig 980 for the OS, and we've got a 2 terabyte 980 Pro for the games to be installed on. Now we've just hit $3,000, so the last thing we need to get is our power supply and potentially some power supply sleeves, cable sleeves. Let's just grab a power supply, and so with the power supply, if we're going to get sleeves, then you have to factor in the cost of the sleeves. And the sleeves I'm aware of is Thermaltake has sleeves which are the TT mod sleeves, and Cooler Master has sleeves as well, but I'm pretty sure the Cooler Master ones are much cheaper. Cooler Master cable sleeves, PSU cable sleeves. Let's just have a look. So Cooler Master PSU cable sleeves. So let's just go to shopping. So these ones start at $40 and they go up to Cooler Master $40. They don't get too expensive. There's Dick Smith trying to rip people off. Whereas if you look at the thermal take ones, they're starting at $70, so they're much more expensive. And I'm not a huge fan of thermal take anyway. I also think that these are kind of being discontinued by thermal take, because I tried to order just one cable from them recently and they actually told me they only had one left. So let's go with a Cooler Master power supply. Let's just take a look first what options we actually have. So we're going to want at least 850 watt. So let's set that to 800. 835. Yes, we want modular. Full or semi is fine. Color doesn't matter. Nothing else really matters. Efficiency rating, type, manufacturer. Okay, let's just order by price. Oops, price. So we are starting at $138. So we got a gigabyte one there. It's 80 plus gold, 850 watt. Where's the nearest Cooler Master? Right here. This one is 152, which isn't too much more. There's no photo. I don't know why. But anyway. Let's just have a quick look. Do Gigabyte have cable sleeves? Gigabyte Cooler Master. That's not what I searched for. Yeah. So not really. Cooler Master. I mean, I know you can always get the sleeves from Cable Mod, but they're more expensive than the OEM supplied ones. So I'm actually going to go with this Cooler Master here. MWE Gold 850 V2. Let's just Google that. Okay. Is it fully modular? Okay. 850 watt gold plus rated. Now, one thing I do need to check is whether the Cooler Master cables work with all of their power supplies. M-Wave, let's just take a, I wonder if they're on the official Cooler Master website. Home. Sleeved extension cable kit. Whoa, that is a colorful website. What is going on here? What is this? What is this website? Waiting. Okay. DNA Smart Technology Industry. Guys, I just want to see your PC products. What is all this stuff? Cable sleeve. Search. Is it searching? Hello? Search. Wow. Cooler Master, you do not get points for your website, that's for sure. Oh my god, it's even got sound effects. It's running on Unity. It's, this website is garbage. It is way overdone, and the search doesn't even work. I'm getting out of here quickly. Do they just have a... Okay, this is what I want. I just want to look at their products. Products, okay. Accessories, power supplies, cable management, accessories, would be under power supply accessories. Yep, looks like it. Extension cable kit. Universal, that's what I want to see. Specifications, model length wire guide, type, color, connectors, warranty. I just want to see that they definitely say 4 available color options. Connectors, universal ATX connectors, making the extension cable compatible with any standard ATX power supply unit. Cables currently on the market. Cooler Master PSU or a model from another company. You can still use these extension cables with your current or future system. Don't let brand names stop you from having your system look the way you want it. That is a strange statement, because power supply cables are not interchangeable between brands, even between different models within the same brand. So I don't know how they can make these universal. Anyway, they say it's going to work, so I'm going to take their word for it. High quality. Yep. Use manager cable style. Okay. Hopefully it's not like a universal kit. Hopefully it's not universal because you have to like wire it up yourself or something like that. Gallery. Okay. I'm expecting they'll come like this. Now I don't know exactly what color theme he wanted. Did he mention what color he wants? He did make his own parts list. He didn't put any cables. Sleeved extension cable set, grey black. So he chose grey black extension cables. So I'm just going to go with a neutral color then. So now usually PC Part Picker doesn't have the cable extensions on there, so you need to pick them out from a store yourself. I guess maybe the black ones. Cooler Master. Let's just go with the black ones for now. The white ones might look nice as well. So we can actually just take this link here, copy, and go back to our build list. I can close those. Yes, we want to add, we already chose our memory, we want to add the Cooler Master to our thing. And down here we're going to go to accessory, custom part, add a custom part, punch in that URL. Okay, that one didn't work. Let's just try the full URL. Nope. Manually create a part. Part name description. Copy that and type whatever part URL is. I already gave you the URL, but you didn't like it. Price is currently, let's just punch in $40. Mark this custom part as already purchased. Nope. Add to custom part. So now we've got $40 there for our cable sleeves. Okay, So where are we standing now? So we got all the parts. Might need some fans, some case fans. So what are we going to get for case fans? We're going to want some IQ fans. So we've got case fans here. I'm just going to search IQ. The Y40 has two 140mm spaces at the side and a 120 rear fan. And then in the basement of the unit you can just put the Hyte fan that comes with the unit. I like the MLs, ML140. We're going to want two of them. So IQ ML RGB Elite Premium 2-pack. Yes, 140mm. Yep. That is. Yeah, that's going to be it. Fans are so expensive now. Add that. And we're going to want a 120mm one as well. Add another case fan. ML. Actually, we can get a cheaper one for the rear, which will be, yeah, because the rear one will be exhausting, so the lights will be facing inwards anyway. But let's just get, we're going to want Corsair. We're going to want single, and we want controller, connector, LED, we want RGB, addressable RGB. Let's just look at all of them. Where's the size here? 120. Okay. So we've got Corsair. Let's search for IQ so that we know it works in IQ. So we got the IQ SP120. So the SPs are not PWM, so they're more difficult to control the speed. So I would rather go with the QL. The ML doesn't even have a price. That's weird. What's this one look like? Yeah, let's just go with one of these. QL. Right, so the actual, what's the ML look like compared to that? Okay, so actually it's the QL that I want to get for the side as well, because that one looks nice from the rear as well as the front. Yeah, let's just add one of those. And we're going to, so I chose the ML before, but I'm going to remove those and I'm going to get the QL ones instead. So let's just search for QL140. And we got the 2-pack here. It's actually cheaper as well. Add that. Okay, so we've got our case fans. All right. I think that's a good starting point. So now we're at close to $3,500, but we can knock it down a bit from here. So one thing that's really expensive is that CPU cooler. So we either need to, because he definitely wants the Hyte Y40. So got a chat here. Just a question, but I spotted the XDemo XT at PLE for 1484. Do you think it's a good deal to jump to? I'm on a 3070 at the moment. Yeah, the 7900 XTX is way better than the 3070. The 3070 is redundant at this point. It's an 8GB card, and even the 7800 and 7700 XT cards, which just came out, would be a better pick over the 3070. Yeah, X demo for 1484. I wouldn't purchase an X demo one for that much. You can get brand new for pretty much that price. So I would be looking out for a brand new one. Is my answer to that question. Yeah, sorry, I didn't see your chat. I don't know what time that actually came in. This thing doesn't actually tell me, but anyway. Okay, so from here we need to see, well, what can we cut down on? So we can't cut down on the CPU. We can cut down on the cooler, and I would recommend, you're right, no problem, mate. I would recommend cutting down on the storage, potentially. But I'll leave that up to my friend to decide. And then we got the graphics card that we could cut down on. Can't cut down on the power supply because we need at least 850 watt. And he's going for an aesthetic build. So, you know, this is just the aesthetics tax. It's the RGB tax. It's the Hyte tax. But you got to think, you've got a chat there. Just want to say I really like the content you're doing for putting up buying guide and relative to AU pricing. Thanks, Anne. I think your name is pronounced Anne. I really appreciate it. Yeah, so we're only left to cut down on the graphics card and the CPU cooler. So before we cut down on the graphics card, let's cut down on the CPU cooler. That's a better option. So what we can do, yeah, and says he's tired of all the reviews with USD pricing. I feel the same. So many reviewers only talk about US prices because the US is the biggest market. And so what we end up with is even the Australian reviewers talk about US prices and don't talk about Australian prices. So we get left out. All right, so let's go for a double fan setup instead of a triple fan, and that way we'll save some money there. So we're going to go 280, 240. We're going to go with Corsair still. And we're going to search for IQ and just see what we can get here. So here is the equivalent one. What's this? H100 I Elite and H115 I Elite. And the price difference is pretty much the same. So I wonder what the actual difference is. 239. So even this is the same. H115 Elite Capalex. A lot of this comes down to just the way they look, I think. Yeah, and then they get more expensive when you get the display screens on them, the LCDs. So let's just go with the equivalent that we had in the 360 size. So I'm going to pick that one, and that saves us around $100. So we're now down to, okay. Remove that one. We're now down to 3,370. Now from here, I guess there are probably cheaper motherboards, but I recommend getting on with Wi-Fi. The memory won't get too much cheaper at $159. So really we're only left with the storage and the graphics card that we could cut down on. Now the graphics card, I think if we wait, we'll be able to pick one of these up for 1.4 thousand, 1.45 thousand. So we can save $100 there just by waiting, and that would get us down to 3.27 grand. And storage, Perhaps we could just get the 2 terabyte storage and not worry about the 500 gig one. Maybe that's a way to go, so let's remove that for now. So that'll get us down to about $3,200. So the only way to shave off another $200 from there is a different graphics card. But so when you get to this point where it's like, well, do I go over my budget and spend another $200, or do I cut down on something? If you're going to cut down on something because you've got a hard budget, it's better to cut down on things that are easy to upgrade later on. So the graphics card is not easy to upgrade later on because it's the most expensive thing to buy. Whereas if you're going to buy fans later on, that's easy because you can just get some really cheap fans with no RGB for almost nothing. And you can buy and install RGB fans easily later on. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to leave it there, and I'll leave it up to my friend to decide what he wants to cut down on. So let's go save and save this. So this is Tomat's custom beast. Tomat is his nickname. And there it is, 3.3. And we can remove the fans. We could even remove the sleeves, the cable sleeves. Although they're only $40. I don't think he wants to get a cheaper graphics card. That is a fantastic graphics card, I have to say. All right, so let's leave it there for now. There is our $3,000 build, although it's 3,300, but there's some options there on things to cut down on. That's my pick for a $3,000 Starfield build with a Hyte Y40 case. Thanks anyone who joined. If you did, I didn't really keep an eye on how many people were watching, but